do genres still exist?
I was thinking about this today, actually, like listening to music. I mean, it's like amazing with streaming that genres are becoming less restrictive, but I think genres also serve a purpose. Like, I think they provide fodder for creativity and inspiration. And I think like, I don't think it's great to just be like, oh, we're like a cross genre. Like, I'm like folk metal. You're like, okay, that's a little, maybe that's a little out there. So yeah, I think they still exist and they serve a purpose.
This is a strange metaphor maybe, but it's like cooking. Food has genre of sorts, but you see fusion everywhere, Japanese, Venezuelan fusion and that kind of stuff. And I think the same way that is becoming more and more popular and people are liking to see different things blended together. I think culturally that's happening in music, that's happening in literature, that's happening in movies. And I think that's an exciting thing because it allows people to be able to pull from tastes and then kind of jam them together in a way that suits an individual personality. I think that's more the forefront of doing something unique.
I would probably choose Thom Yorke. We had this discussion last night, though, that how devastating it would be if Thom Yorke was kind of like, yeah, I really had heard of Sir Sly and was like, yeah, I really dislike your music. Like, I just don't get it. Like, how personally devastating that would be.
Which came off the heels of Elon Musk being told that Neil Armstrong was not a fan of the SpaceX program, and in the interview, he's like on the verge of tears. We're in Minneapolis. I think Prince,
maybe Kanye.
What did we learn from touring with the 1975? I think a lot of things. I think it taught us how to play in front of a lot more people. It was one of our first opening tours as well, so I think we learned how to do what we love doing on stage and try to win people over, but also when you're opening, I think also the most important thing is to kind of ignore a little bit how you're being received and just do your own thing, and to allow people to either attach to that because you're being who you really are or let it slide. Sir Mix-a-Lot, Sir Elton John.
Well,
that's Sly.
That's a great Sly.
That's a great Sly, or Sly and the Family Stone.
Is Alexander Hamilton a sir? I feel like he's a sir. I like Alexander Hamilton. Yeah, okay.
Oh man, I think listening to my own music high might be like the worst decision ever.
I mean, I had to have at some point.
Oh no, actually, when I did,
how often are you listening to high?
Whenever it's on, baby.
I did. Well, I mean, I've played high. Does that count? It's listening in a sense.
Yeah, that's surreal.
One time I was on mushrooms and some friends asked, like, can we listen to some of your music right now? And I was like, that sounds really scary, actually. And then they put it on and somebody was like, is this okay with you? And I was like, it's all music, man. It's all music. And then we played some older stuff and then we played some of our own music again, and I was like, it's all music. I was like, all the music, it's just a tiny point of light in the history of time. I was like, I'm so deep and cool right now. Reliving some of those things once you're not on mushrooms anymore, you're like, I'm a big jackass, I think. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but there's this thing called ephemeral use.
I would like to take a moment to educate a lot of people about ephemeral use.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. Well, to part A of that question, it was actually really thrilling. We were watching with K-Flay. We had just finished tour. We had a big Airbnb in Nashville, and they came over, and we were just like hanging out, and it came on. I was like, that's amazing. What people out there might not know, and I would love to put NBC on blast as firmly as possible, is that they're actually allowed to use your music without consent and without paying you. So, I mean, we don't see anything from that, which to me is utterly ridiculous. It's this thing called ephemeral use, and so long as they don't use the vocals and they use less than 15 seconds during a live event, and it can be it's supposed to be spontaneous, not pre-planned, which I'm sure that the Super Bowl telecast was totally spontaneous. Anyway, we didn't get anything from it besides personal validation. So I'm glad that NBC, they're probably on hard times. I'm glad they're saving a little money. We're just balling out over here. If you could see our Sprinter van, we're doing wonderful. So I don't need any of the money.
And I have to say that, the idea that anything about the Super Bowl telecast wasn't planned, or that they didn't at least have a planned pool of songs that they pull from. Yeah, I'm sure ephemeral use is definitely legal in that case.
But still,
and I'm sure they have a team of lawyers that would be able to back that up. And let's say Assassin's Creed does not get put on blast because they paid us, and they're a great game franchise, actually. Shout out Ubisoft. like a movie trailer sounds like a really fun kind of like a movie trailer sounds amazing. I think.
Well, like that story about 21 Pilots. I think that like Suicide Squad, like Zack Snyder and the singer of 21 Pilots. They like met up and he got to watch a bit of the movie and they sort of got to talk about it, and then he wrote Heathens. That sounds super fun, like two kind of artists from different media collaborating with each other. That would be like a super fun thing. I'd love to, with a director that we love and respect, being able to make a song for something they're making would be.
Yeah, or as like cannabis is getting more legalized, I mean, there's alcohol commercials all over the place. Once there's like weed commercials where there's like really like well-branded pre-rolls and stuff, I want to see High in one of those. The last time we played here, we opened for St. Lucia, and here, by the way, is at Fine Line. Something about my guitar had broken, the strap had come out, and I needed to go to get some super glue, and the closest place I could find that was open was a Target, which is a mile away. It was 0 degrees outside, and I walked a mile in 0 degree weather to get super glue, which is like kind of a funny memory.
And then you had a little trouble getting back in the door. Was that the same? Or was
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I walked past and the guy was like, "You're not allowed in here." I was like, I have to go on stage in like 3 minutes. I have to go. And he's like, "No, you can't." And I was like, "See ya." And I just ran past.
Oh man, it's just always been a goal to play Coachella. So just the fact that we're playing is the whole experience. I think is just going to be amazing. Looking forward to seeing other bands and like hopefully our gear not overheating. That's probably what I'm most worried about. Constantly haunts me at night.
There's some big names there. I think seeing Beyonce sounds exciting. Maybe getting a little pool party on as well. I think I'm really excited musically to this whole festival season, Coachella included, to really play like a festival set. And we're so used to playing club shows and playing a certain type of way, and a festival brings a different kind of energy. I think I want to really get into that headspace and give people a great time. People come to a festival to see a bunch of different music and to dance and party and do some drugs. And I think catering to that type of thing and really having that fun interactive experience with people you know are there for a certain reason, that sounds really exciting.